Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And we are back, Sam. We were here yesterday with Bruno and Luisa, and they were in gym class.
Yes.
And remember, Luisa, she hurt her, what did she hurt again?
Her ankle.
Her ankle, that's right. Ouch. Probably playing dodgeball. And Bruno was so nice. They didn't know each other, but Bruno brought her an ice pack, and I think they became friends.
Yeah, seemed like it.
They're on the same dodgeball team in gym class. Today, we're going to another fun thing to do at school. No, not math. No, not math yet. We're in a music club at school. Now, this isn't really part of your normal studies at school, right? You might have a music class, but music club, anything that's a club is probably after school just for fun, to hang out with your friends, do some interesting activities. Did they have a music club at your high school or junior high school?
I think they must have.
Yeah?
They must have had music club because I know that they had drama club.
Oh, for acting.
Yes, and I think that was all connected. I wasn't in music club, so I don't know exactly how it worked, but I'm sure there was, because we had band and we had orchestra. So there were plenty of people playing music, and choir. We had choir as well.
Wow, you're so lucky.
Yeah, I would guess that we had music club as well.
My school, I went to school in England when I was a little boy. We had music, we had choir, we had orchestra, and then back in Canada, the year after I came back, they closed all the music clubs, got rid of the music classes, no music. So I made a band with my friends after school, and we played rock and roll. So that was our music club, but it wasn't part of school. So I think if you have a music club at school, you guys are super lucky, and it is a great thing to do if you like music. So let's find out all about Adele and Kurt. They are in music club. Are they gonna rock out, or are they gonna be playing a symphony and singing an opera? We will find out. Adele and Kurt are in a music club.
Hi, you are Kurt, right? I am Adele. I like your guitar.
Yes, and thanks, Adele. Do you play the guitar?
No, I don't. I play the piano.
Hey, I played the piano before. Then I stopped the lessons. They were too long.
Okay, so we are in part B of our dialogue, and it is at a club.
Okay.
Now, this word club, we talked about it a little bit in our intro, but basically a club would be a group that is started by people who want to kind of be more interested or learn more about a certain thing. So if you guys all kind of like maybe bugs, then maybe you'll make a bug club and go out and find them and study them. And most schools have a range of clubs, but they're usually student-started or student-led. Sometimes you'll have a club that maybe has a teacher kind of oversee everything, but a lot of times the kids that have a similar interest get together and say, we want to start a club about movies or sports or this or that, and then they all get together and meet, I don't know, after school and learn about that thing.
Okay, so it's to enjoy a hobby or a pastime. It's also to make friends, but it's not a part of the regular school. You know, there won't be exams or tests, or it's for fun. It's for fun. All right, so we're going to find out what's happening in the music club with Adele and Kurt. They are in a music club, it says. So I guess they're both members of the club, but maybe they just joined yesterday at the beginning of school, so they're getting to know each other. We'll find out in our dialogue. And Adele starts us off.
Yes, and so it says, Adele says, hi, you are Kurt, right? I am Adele. I like your guitar. So a very standard introduction. Hi, who am I? Who are you? And then since they're in music club, she goes, oh, I like your guitar.
Ooh, that's a good thing to say to someone with a guitar, as long as you don't mind them talking about that guitar for the next hour. All right, let's go over to Tina while Kurt talks about his guitar. Oh.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 club, 名词社团 Mark joined the music club. Mark 加入了音乐社团。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, we are back. So yes, that is true. When you meet someone, it's nice to say something nice about them, right? Give them a compliment. Adele said, "Ooh, Kurt, nice to meet you. I like your guitar." And yes, it's true. Many musicians, people who play music, whether it's the drums or the keyboards or the guitar, if you say, oh, I like your thing, your instrument, they might say, oh, well, thank you very much. I got this. It's a special thing. And they'll talk about it and they will probably like you more. So Kurt says, yes. And thanks, Adele. So yes, it's nice to meet you. I'm Kurt, you're Adele. And thanks, he says. Thanks for saying that nice thing about my beautiful, amazing guitar. Do you play the guitar? He asks her right back. So, you like guitars, but do you also like or enjoy playing the guitar? And play, this word is very important when we talk about lots of things. Of course, we play sports, but we also play musical instruments. I play the drums, I play the piano, I play the clarinet or the saxophone. I play the trombone, and she plays the guitar. That's because that is the instrument that you make music with. But the special verb we use for making music on an instrument is to play. You sing with your voice. You play with an instrument.
Yes. And so Adele says, no, I don't. Because again, Kurt just asked, do you play the guitar? So she says, no, I don't. I play the piano.
Ooh.
So she doesn't play the guitar, but she plays the piano because again, in music class, most likely everyone, or music club, most likely everyone plays an instrument or wants to learn how to play an instrument better. So she plays the piano.
Okay, that's just as good or maybe even better than the guitar, but much harder to carry around. And Kurt says, hey, I played the piano before. So he's kind of telling her a bit of his music history. He played the piano before. This is like in the past. Probably not like yesterday, but, when I was younger. He says, then I stopped the lessons. They were too long. Okay, so that's kind of the story of him with the piano. Maybe like a lot of young kids, his parents got him to play. He played for a few years, didn't love it, so he stopped the lessons. He stopped learning the piano and probably practicing and playing the piano. And he kind of says why they were too long. The lessons were too long. Maybe he was taking 2 or 3 hours of lessons and all the practice, and he has homework and he plays basketball and he just didn't have time for more classes or lessons in the piano.
Yes, and so a lesson is just a class that you can take where you are learning how to do something. You can have, in this case, piano lessons. So either you go somewhere and have the lesson at a different location. Sometimes you would have somebody come to your house and teach you, but then sometimes we call that person a tutor who comes and teaches you something. But you still can use this word lesson because the actual class and the time that you are learning that thing would be called the lesson. In this case, again, they had piano lessons. Maybe after he stopped his piano lessons, he started taking guitar lessons because that's what we know that he plays now.
Okay, and often a class will be several lessons, but you can also just have one lesson in one thing, one time, right? You might go to Japan and take a sushi making lesson just for one time, just to learn a little bit about it. All right, let's go over to Tina for more English lessons. Yes, that's right.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 play 动词弹奏 David plays the piano every day. David 每天弹钢琴 lesson 名词课程 The lesson starts at 3 p.m. 课程在下午3点开始。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, we are back. So let's now go to the second part of the dialogue, and then we'll be right back to talk about it.
Yeah, I spend all my free time on the piano.
So, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
I like to listen to all kinds of music, but I really like pop music.
Me too. We should share our playlists.
All right, we are back in music class with Adele and Kurt. Kurt plays the guitar, but he used to play the piano like Adele. She plays the piano, but Kurt said he stopped because the lessons, the piano classes, were too long. They took up too much of his time, or maybe he was just kind of bored in these classes and he wanted to learn the guitar instead. So what does Adele think of all that?
Well, she says, yeah, I spend all my free time on the piano.
Interesting.
So she's kind of agreeing, yes, playing the piano does take a long time and takes a long time to practice. And so most of her free time does go to the piano. So she's kind of agreeing with the fact that it takes a long time. But I kind of think that any music, any instrument that you're going to play is going to take a lot of time.
That is very true. I would only say that maybe the guitar is a little bit easier to learn by yourself. There are many videos and, you know, maybe that's why. But yes, you're right. Any musical instrument, if you want to get good, it will take a lot of time with lessons and with practice. So it's important to spend time on something. And we see that verb phrase there, to spend time on something, is to take the time that you have and do one kind of activity with it. Of course, your parents are always saying, you should spend more time on your homework. And you might say, but Mom, I want to spend more time playing Minecraft. And then they say, but if you spend time playing Minecraft now, you'll have to spend time in school, in summer school. And then you say, but I don't want to spend time on summer school. I want to spend time on basketball. This is what you want to do with your time. This is how you want to use your time and what you want to use your time doing. I think it's good to spend time on all those things, but maybe homework's a little more important right now. I don't know. Anyways, back to Kurt. He says, so, he asks Adele a question, so, what kind of music do you like to listen to? When we say so like that, it's a good way to kind of change the idea or the topic. They were talking about guitar and piano lessons. Now let's talk about something else that's similar. Kinds of music. What kind of music do you like to listen to? And here he might be expecting pop, jazz, classical, rock, that kind of thing. What kind of music does Tina like?
Well, I don't know. So maybe we should go and find out.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的文法。Spend time on something， 花时间在某事物上。Spend 表示花费时间，它的三态是 spend, spent, spent。我们来看看这个例句。Lucas spent the whole afternoon on his homework. Lucas 花了一整个下午做作业。A kind of 某个种类的 kind 在这里是名词，意思是种类、类型。All kinds of 表示各式各样的，后面可以接可数或不可数名词。我们来看看这两个例句。What kind of music does Jack like? Jack 喜欢哪一种音乐？下一个例句 There are all kinds of books in the library. 图书馆有各式各样的书。Listen to 聆听 Listen 是一个不及物动词，我们来看看这个例句。Mark likes to listen to stories before bed. Mark 喜欢睡前听故事。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so we are back. And so we've just kind of shifted the conversation. We were talking about what instrument do you play? What instrument do you play? But now we're talking about what kind of music do you like to listen to? So Adele answers, I like to listen to all kinds of music, but I really like pop music.
Ooh.
So she is a fan of all kinds of music, which I think a lot of people like a lot of different types of music. But it seems like her favorite is pop music.
Okay, so music on the radio, music in the charts, the hit songs of the time you live in, pop or popular music. And Kurt says, me too. I also like pop music. We like the same kind of music. And then he says, we should share our playlists. That's a great idea. If you have a playlist on your phone or online or somewhere, you can share it with someone. I like all of these songs. You like all of those. You listen to mine. I'll listen to yours. Maybe we'll discover something new and we'll be friends.
Yes, sharing is a great way to make friends.
It is.
Because to share is to take something that you have and let other people use it or see it or experience it in some way. So maybe you can think of this as like little kids at a park. If they have a toy and they have a bunch of toys and they want to play with the other kids, then they might need to share their toys. They're not giving it permanently. They will still take it home with them, but they're sharing and letting someone else use it or borrow it or see it for a little bit of time. In this case, they're sharing playlists. So again, I think now if you share playlists, they probably can copy all your songs onto their playlist too, but it's still your list that you are letting them experience and see and say, hey, this is what I have. I'd love to share my interests with you.
There you go. And in this case, yeah, playlist, it's kind of a more modern thing. Now we all listen to music on computers or from the cloud on a service like Spotify or Apple Music. You can make a list of your favorite songs, the songs you like to hear more often when you're doing homework or exercising or just walking down the street. This is your list of favorite songs. We could also have a radio station. They will have different playlists, often a different style of music. Or it might be something where if you're traveling with your grandmother in the car and your father says, don't put on your heavy metal playlist. We don't want to hear that style of music. We want to hear something different. So it's often a style or a group of music, a group of songs that you particularly like, and you keep it organized so that you hear those songs more than other songs that maybe aren't so good. All right, let's get over to Tina and find out what she has to talk about. I wonder what's on her playlist. Something really interesting, I bet.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字。Share, 动词分享。Tom shared his lunch with Anna. Tom 跟 Anna 分享他的午餐。Playlist, 名词，播放清单，音乐播放清单。Sarah listens to her playlist every day. Sarah 每天听她的播放清单。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so we are back and we are going to review this dialogue one more time and then we're going to see you for the next dialogue. So we've been at the gym, we have been to the music club, and we're going to go somewhere else next time.
Oh, that sounds fun. Until then, take care, guys. Bye-bye. Adele and Kurt are in a music club.
Hi, you are Kurt, right? I am Adele. I like your guitar.
Yes, and thanks, Adele. Do you play the guitar?
No, I don't. I play the piano.
Hey, I played the piano before. Then I stopped the lessons. They were too long.
Yeah, I spend all my free time on the piano.
So, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
I like to listen to all kinds of music, but I really like pop music.
Me too. We should share our playlists.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，club 名词社团 ，play 动词弹奏 ，lesson 名词课程 ，share 动词分享 Playlist 名词，播放清单，音乐播放清单。接着我们来看文法的部分。Spend time on something 花时间在某事物上。Nina spent all day on her homework. Nina 花了一整天在作业上。A kind of 某个种类的。What kind of food does Bonnie want? Bonnie 想要哪种食物？ The shop sells all kinds of flowers. 这间店贩卖各式各样的花。Listen to 聆听。Ellen listens to podcasts in the morning. Ellen 早上会听播客。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，那我们下一次再见喽，拜拜。
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie, and today we are going to see some really cute animals.
Yes, we're going to see my favorite animal, but we have to be quiet because they sleep all day.
They are, of course, koalas.
Shh, let's go.
So, koalas are marsupials, and marsupials are animals that raise their young in their built-in pouches. You might know another marsupial, which is a kangaroo. So koalas are actually folivores. They eat eucalyptus leaves.
In order for them to digest it, they need to sleep. So as you can see, the koalas are sleeping. Now, the interesting thing is, because the leaf is toxic or poisonous, when they eat it, their meat becomes toxic too. So predators don't want to eat them. I'm so excited that we got to spend some time to see my favorite koalas. But I would like to take this opportunity to remind everyone watching that koalas, they're also animals that we have to look out for because they're starting to get close to being endangered.
That's all we have for today. Please follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if you have something you want to say in English and you just don't know how to. Kiki, anything you want to say?
Well, thanks for spending some quality time with us.
Kiwi later.